Okay, base station. Let's see. Let's get you up here. Co-host time. There he is. How's that shirtless life, bro? Going good?
That's going good, yeah.
Nice.
I am shirtless right now. Actually, look at taking care of the kids, cleaning up the house.
Yeah, I guess we always catch you. This is like lunchtime for you, huh?
Yeah, this is 12:30 around here.
Nice. Yeah, it's 9:30 on a Tuesday morning here, so doing good, man. Yeah. But yeah, what a crazy shakeout, huh? I mean, is this just like some action for Trump to buy more ETH in world liberty?
He's shaking everybody out on. Who knows?
Who knows, man? I tell you though, this is the time you build, right? You double down. I had a really good meeting with the team, and I was like, this is the time to hustle because everyone's like starting to freak out because they're maybe the first time in crypto. We got to showcase that we have real apps that have a real daily use case for people, and try and get people excited about it, man.
Totally. Dude,
Yeah,
how's the browser coming along? How is that making progress?
Yeah, we're doing good, man. I mean, I guess we could take turns doing some updates, tell people who are here a little bit about Send and Mask, especially for newcomers, and then riff some alpha, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so no, thanks for joining in. I can't remember what number base station this is. Might be 8 or 9. I mean, I don't know. Is it? We're getting there. We're close. Okay, cool. So we're close to double digits. Maybe we should do a special giveaway on the next one for being 10 base stations.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, let's do it, man. But yeah, well, for those of you who are new to Mask, me and Ethan have known each other a long time. We're multi-cyclers. Like our beards are getting long and gray from being in this crazy fucking industry. But yeah, I've been in the crypto space. This is my 8th year. Started Mask with the team about 5 years ago, and our vision is to basically bring privacy and freedom of access to everyone. So we've built a network that does that. This type of privacy we built didn't exist, so we built it. And not only that, we tried to bring it into the world of users through the easiest way to get privacy, which is within your browser. So we're doing the game-changing milestone now, where not only do you have a browser that you can use called Mask Browser, which is like quite a unique Web3 type of experience. We're bringing that into an extension. So now you can privatize your Google Chrome and, de-Google yourself a little bit, get rid of all those little trackers, get that privacy if you want to turn on browsing and get to somewhere you've never been to. Mask does that for you. It's a DVPN, and it's all powered by the Mask token. So we've got a lot of, stuff we've done that hasn't been done before, but that's it in a nutshell, and we're real excited to have some, big milestones coming up. But that's a little bit about Mask. Maybe we'll let Ethan cook and tell us about Send and what you're building, man. You got some cool stuff in the mix.
Yeah, Send is going good, man. I think this month is probably going to be our biggest month for releases. We have distributions for January. You're going to be able to claim those probably, I would think, maybe today or tomorrow. And activity rewards for February have already started. Again, this is our biggest month for releases. So over the next 3 weeks, we're going to release something that I've been talking about for a long time called Temporal for Send. So Temporal, a lot of people use it. It just it operates in the background. So you can kind of resume the app and do, so if you're sending something, typically what happens is it waits, 3, 4, 5 seconds for it to send. And you're kind of left on that screen, just kind of looking at the rotating bar. Rotating circle, and it's just, we don't want, that's a bad UX, right? So we want to move you to the next screen so you can continue doing what you're doing. Maybe you want to initiate another send, or maybe you want to do something else. But so Temporal for Sends is going to make that faster. You're going to send it, it's going to go, it's going to be a second, and it's going to be operating in the background until that gets finished. And if it fails, which we have had some stuff failing, like send tags, where they fail in the background, or maybe somebody registers a send tag and the money gets deducted and they don't get the send tag registered and they have to redo it again, and then it'll go through. Or sometimes they register a send tag and they put the referral in and they don't get credit for the referral, or their upline doesn't get that credit. So these are some things that operate in the background to make sure they're completed, to make sure everything's running smoothly. We got that. We got notes. We're going to be adding notes to send, and that's going to be completed. That's already done, actually, and we're going to be testing that with Temporal to make sure that's quick as well. We have swaps. Swaps are pretty close to being finished. We have you can buy USDC with a debit card. That's coming probably in the next week or so. That's actually finished. That might come out this week. And then the biggest one is going to be send earn. So as we know, I want to read something to you guys actually, that came on my mind. Let me see what this guy's handle is. I want to read this to you guys because I've been doing research on banking. And it's these neobanks like Monzo, like Revolut, like Nubank, SoFi. I've been doing research, and what I do is I look on X, and I pretty much just type in the name, and I kind of see what people are saying about them, right? So I looked up Monzo this past couple of days. I've been doing research because we're getting a new send.it landing page out and site to kind of gear up for the send earn product. And what we want people to understand is that, if you look at so for instance, like Barclays. So Barclays went down, and when I searched Monzo last night, everybody was talking about, I'm going to move from Barclays to Monzo. I'm going to move from Barclays to Monzo. Everybody's all pissed at Barclays. Barclays makes $32 billion a year in profit. Okay. A company like Monzo brings in about $1 billion in revenue, but only 10 million of that is profit. I think their profit is, let me see. Let's look at, Barclays revenue. Yeah, annual revenue for 2023 was 31 billion, which is just insane. But how send to earn is going to work is, all of that, the revenue that we're bringing in, we're going to share that with affiliates. That's the point, right? And nobody really has that model in banking, and they really can't do that in banking, right? Because it's not, you would need smart contracts to do that, and plus, they're dealing with all these different currencies, whereas we only deal with USDC. But this guy said a good point, and I want you guys to listen to this, because let me see, Simon the Web, x.com/Simon the Web. So he said, let's see his replies. Somebody said this. Somebody said, I think there are 3 big reasons why mass market neobanks haven't taken off in the US. Now, keep in mind that Send is becoming a global neobank. It's not, just for the US or just for Europe or just for Brazil, right? So he's saying this is the reason why Revolut and Monzo haven't taken off in the United States. 1, Venmo and Cash App took the oxygen out of most peer-to-peer payments in the US. This was a big growth vector for both Monzo and Revolut in Europe. So basically what he's saying is, Venmo and Cash App own peer-to-peer in the United States. And for Monzo and Revolut, that was big for them in Europe, and that's how they got traction. We have peer-to-peer, right, with SendTag. 2, much less frequent international travel by most Americans means that cheap foreign exchange isn't as important as in Europe. Another big growth vector for Monzo and Revolut gone. So I guess foreign exchange is big for Monzo and Revolut in Europe. 3, credit card points and building credit scores to a lesser extent are so central to mainstream U.S. customers that a debit card plus checking account is not even remotely attractive. The banks that already have massive scale can secure much greater share of interchange from the card schemes and fund higher reward points. It's almost impossible to compete on points if you're subscale. So, we have points, right? That's why we have rewards, right? So the things that we have, we're talking about peer-to-peer, foreign exchange doesn't matter for us because it's stable coins, cross-border. That's why, one of the major use cases of stable coins, remittances, right? And then points, which is, what I've said, we wrote in a couple of articles about, our send rewards, and kind of first it being just, holding send, getting more send. Now it's activity rewards. and that continuing to evolve as the product evolves, right? But this guy says a good point. So that wasn't what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you specifically what this guy said. Where's his? Right here. So this is what he says. This guy, Simon. So feels like they're stealing angle. Make it really easy to open an account, all online in less than 24 hours for a particular group where it's usually tricky. Expats, ? Maybe requires a bit of regulatory risk, ARB. And he's basically talking about getting online quick with basically a neobank or whatever it is, right? This is the one that I'm excited that he's talking about. He says, because Monzo, the guy Tom who was talking about Venmo and international travel, he was responding to this. Have you ever seen Harry Stebbings? Have you ever seen his? No.
No, I haven't heard of him. No, but I've done a lot of research on stable coins, and you're right. This is key.
Harry Stebbings does this 20 VC fund or 20-minute VC. He does that podcast. Have you seen that or no?
Oh, yes, I have caught an episode or two, but not recently.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen it. Yeah. So what Harry Stebbings was talking about, he's talking about Monzo, and he's talking about, Monzo's the greatest turnaround in tech, right? They went from a 40% down round. They had huge layoffs. The awful employee, what's NPS? Employee NPS? What's that? Do you know what that is? NPS?
I'm not sure. Probably some kind of satisfactory score.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Net Promoter Score. I didn't know that. Okay, so satisfactory, awful employee. So 5 years later, they have $1 billion in revenue and they're profitable. Okay, they have 10 million customers and they're the number one digital bank in the UK.
That's crazy.
So that other guy, Tom, now was responding to that with the Venmo and took oxygen, whatever, right? And then this guy, Simon, was responding to that. So he says here now, follow up with insane referral incentives, distribution hacks to use this small group as your distribution workforce, assuming product is also really good. Okay? See what he says? That's, so I'm looking on X and I'm like typing in these because I want to see what are these neobanks doing? What can we do, right? And a lot of the features they're not that hard. What are you doing? You get a card, you can spend, your stable coins with the card. That's coming, right? We're going to do that. You can have a virtual account, which is, you can have a checking and a savings account. Boom, we can do that. That's easy. Earn interest with Send Earn, right? We have that coming at the end of the month, right? Where you can deposit USDC and you can earn interest. Where you really separate yourself though is with this referral incentives, right? Where your send tag, and when somebody registers a send tag, you become their online or their upline forever. You're an affiliate, you're their upline forever. Nobody is doing this in banking. Nobody can do this in banking because it takes building on and starting from building on smart contracts to really do that. And I think we're going to be the leader in that. You're going to see we're getting to our 1.0 in the app. And over the next, I think, after this 1.0 is app, which is, faster sends, fucking, swaps, deposit with debit card and, being able to deposit with Send Earn and earn interest. That's kind of our 1.0. And then we start working towards the virtual accounts and the send card. But once we have that 1.0, we're going to really start marketing this, we can really start marketing this and outside of just what we're doing, which is activity rewards, which, brings people in, but not really, You're getting people that are looking to earn, which is why we're 80% big in Nigeria, because, people are earning money off their send rewards. They can earn a little bit of an income, right? If they're getting the monthly rewards and they're holding the minimum. But this whole Send Earn is now, it's different. It's different because you can get anybody to be an upline, and there's some decent income for them to make there.
Well, I just thought it was so cool seeing some of your updates on like how you're gonna structure it, where you sort of get a cut of their yield, like a small percent for referring them, and like no one's really doing that. You're right, and you'd think if banks could do it, they would. But there's always, things that they just don't want to be bothered doing, right? They don't want to build all that into compliance. They don't want to take the regulatory approach and do it all these different countries. And, it's like a tank trying to change direction. It just takes forever, right? So you're perfectly positioned into that. It's real exciting to talk about this because behind the scenes, I know we've been polishing the final bits of our extension release. But we've been building an affiliates side as well, because we know, to be quite honest, it's hard to get excited about privacy tech sometimes. It's hard to get people like real amped, like, oh yeah, I can do stuff that, people don't want me to do. I can browse sites I'm not supposed. It's like, you don't often talk about that. But one thing I've seen go absolutely crazy in the privacy space is VPNs using influencers and affiliates to shill their crappy Web2 VPN with a referral link. How much does that sell? I can tell you, because like Ethan, I do research as well. One of the big ones, which you'd all know, ExpressVPN, they probably spend close to $10 to $15 million just on marketing a month. And most of that goes to affiliates who are shilling their referral links and getting signups and getting a cut of the customer's revenue. And some of them, they give a lot of that revenue, by the way. I think in some cases, if they hit certain tiers, I think some of the companies give 30% of the revenue to these referral affiliates. So we've been building that because we know if we can get people excited about a product, but then share it, not only does mass network grow because you got more users, more nodes, more decentralization, but your user base grows and the revenue for the company grows. So it's all a recipe for success, man, and you're onto it.
We're kind of around there. If you look at like Syntax, right? So Syntax is not going to be a big income earner for us. The revenue's nice, but it's not, oh my God, it's not going to just take care of all of our payroll and everything, right? But so Syntax, we give 75% to the refer, right? And we want to be we want to be either 75% but typically we're probably going to be around 25%. So if you look at like, out of the 100% from the send earn, 92% goes to the depositor, right? Whoever deposits the USDC. There's 8% left. Out of the 8%, we give 25% to the affiliate. And I'm thinking typically we want to kind of be around there. It's like 25%. And the same thing goes for like gigs when we start building that out. If we're charging, what did we have? That's what we had. So if you go to, let me see, x.com/gigs _
I mean, I've been playing with like tiered systems because like everyone, for someone who really wants to get involved and they don't have a big following, you could probably get 2 to 3 of your friends in there, right? And you give them that revenue share. They've earned it. They've got some users on there. And if the users are active, then there's a stream in there and that's shared. So it's based on like how busy the referrers are. If you refer someone and they do nothing in the app, then obviously the person who referred them doesn't get anything because the user didn't really onboard, right? But I reckon it's going to be something you should look at too if you haven't already. Is like, let's say you get a power user who's like onboarding loads of people. They get like 20 people onboarded. We should give those hot promoters like a bigger cut because they're busy. They're on there. People might start building their own landing pages and their own ads and pay for it because it's worth it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So like they might start at a 10% referral cut or 20. I'm just throwing arbitrary numbers. We're simulating some of this in the background, but let's say it's like if you start off at 15%, once you onboard 3 people, it goes up to 20. Once you onboard 10 people, it goes up to 25. Once you onboard 100, it goes up to 30. Lifetime referral revenue stream. That's the type of stuff that will growth hack, I reckon, in some form. Because then you're really pushing the performing people to just do what they're doing, reward the big ones.
Yeah, that's you make a good point there, where they can start building their own landing pages and start driving. And it's kind of like drop shipping.
Well, yeah, it's like white label, not exactly white label, but you're an affiliate and you're saying, hey, I use this. Here's why. And they might have their own, tone and their own personality that certain people that follow them or like them relate to, right? They might not relate to everything in our branding, but if they see someone else talk about it that they respect, they're like, oh, that makes sense. I like the way they spoke about it. Boom. And then they're converted, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. I'm going to think about that.
Yeah, man. So no, we've been working on that in the background too, because we know that that's probably the biggest growth hack we have sort of in our sector.
Explain that to me. How does that What tiers are you thinking? Or give me an example of like a product that's for sale.
Well, at the moment, I mean, we're just working on the Mask Premium, so like typical subscription type of model, and you can pay monthly or you can pay yearly, and we want to find a way to do it on chain, like you guys have done a great job with it, where if someone refers someone, they go to the checkout and they purchase a subscription, that that revenue share just immediately goes to the person who referred them, and maybe start like. We might even do promotions though to start out with like, hey, refer someone, you get a one-time for like, I don't know, a month, 50% rev share, and then just change it. But I think it's building the on-chain part that's like taking us longer and trying to figure out the right ways to do it, because you got to match up the identifier of the user, which is just a wallet, but then have the referrer be able to like designate their wallet, and then so we might try minting like a link somehow do it with like a something interesting and unique. I won't reveal too much, but yeah, there's ways to do it, and then it becomes like embedded in the system. Well, you guys have done it pretty well, right? So in the app, you get a referral code, and if someone clicks on it or enters it when they check out and do the on-chain transaction, it would essentially use a smart contract to split the transaction amount between the referrer and send.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. That's exactly what happens.
Right. So so our piece is like a little abstracted, because we use this like BoomFi payments integration, because they allow like recurring subscriptions. So that's what's a little bit of the challenge with ours, is because we've got like a platform, and their fees are real reasonable. Like you try and use Stripe or anything like with fiat or credit card, debit card rails, you're always going to have like quite a big fee, like 2 to 3, maybe 4%. These guys only charge 1%, and it's crypto only for now, but we can integrate Stripe later if we want to deal with, credit cards, which are not as private, but maybe some people, we'll see if the demand's there. But yeah, then because we're using them, we've got to try and like build that split into that, right? So we'll figure it out. But it's pretty exciting, because I know this is the virality you want with a hot product that people enjoy, being able to share it. And I don't know, man. Have you tried Revolut before, Ethan? Like, it's an interesting comparison though between SendApp and Revolut. I have. Have you tried it?
With who?
Revolut?
No, I haven't tried it. I heard really good things though.
I think they're good. Their customer support is kind of, here or there. Like, it's actually hard to get like direct support if you have an issue. But besides that, I mean, it's pretty smooth. But I've always looked at the referral programs that these platforms have, and always thought they're just not attractive, right? Like, what they always have is those T's and C's. Okay, refer someone, and when they deposit $100, we'll give you 10. When they deposit 500, we'll give you this. And like, you never know if it's going to happen. Like, if the person on boards, it's, I don't know. It's just most people don't seem to get the rewards. It seems like there's an extra barrier of entry.
Yeah. Invitees. Yeah. I'm looking up the referral, and then they have different terms for, for United States. Yeah.
But I think you're being a neobank puts you in a unique position, because you're not dealing with typical fiat, barriers of entry. You're not dealing with real banks to kind of hold your funds. You've built, Web3 infrastructure that's secure and governed by code, right? Like if something is supposed to be in a smart contract, that's in a smart contract. You can't exactly have a rogue employee go in and like mess with it, stuff like that banks deal with, or getting phished, like that's different sort of landscape. So your customers have a lot more, certainty when they use an app, because it's like using a wallet, a Web3 wallet.
Yeah. It's been fun though. I enjoy doing this research on some of these banks. It's interesting to see what they're doing. A lot of them are doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, huh? The thing is, stablecoins is just growing in adoption. So I do feel like any user app that is trying to fade having some form of interaction with stablecoins is gonna reach a point where adoption for their app or their ecosystem is going to be affected. Like, I did a chat for some people I know about stablecoins, just talking to them. Like, I didn't realize this, man. Circle, which is the number 2 stablecoin now, like they're approaching Tether in size. They processed $1 trillion of volume in November. $1 trillion on-chain volume. That's just nuts. Like, I mean, looking at the scale of that, bro, that's just crazy.
$1 trillion? What?
They had $1 trillion of USDC transact in one month.
In 1 month. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. A lot of this is business. You know, people are paying businesses, you know, so you're talking like, like import, export, brokers.
It'd be like, large scale business, or like maybe institutional settlement, stuff like that, they have big, funds doing things. But I mean, that just shows the sheer size of how much that powers payments. And the best thing is that if you're in a country that, is hard to deal with banks, you don't have to fuck with banks. Like, you can just go on to Ascend app and get an account in 5 minutes and do what you need to do.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of our metrics. I think our metrics are messed up. We're showing 7,000 daily active users.
Wow.
That would be a dream, wouldn't it?
So you think it's doubling up, maybe?
No,
it was approaching 4,000, wasn't it?
It was daily active users, weekly active users are hitting 4,000. Daily active users is around 1,500. It was around 2,200, but then we played with the rewards a little bit because I noticed people were trying to game it. That's one thing is you can game engagement. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could just give more rewards and people are going to continue to game it, and then the numbers are going to continue to grow, right? But you're not really getting anything of value. People are just here for the short term to try to farm. They're trying to farm the app, right? They don't give a fuck about what you're building. Like, they don't care. It's not useful. The only useful part about it is that they're making money and they want to farm it, and then they want to go sell the send and move on to the next product, right? These are farmers. So we had to kind of draw that in a little bit because, it wasn't for the best.
Yeah, you got to keep vigilant on that stuff. I mean, you're right. Any system with rewards, there's a small degree of gaming in there, and you just got to kind of like keep an eye on it and be adaptive. I think you guys have done a good job given, even to start, how generous some of the SEM rewards was. Obviously, I've been around since like pre day one with you, but like I've seen it evolve, and like, how you try and keep it visible and transparent. If changes come, you tell everybody, and that's the best you can do, really. But yeah, I think it's been done well.
Did you see this Jelly app?
I saw some posts about it. I didn't actually try it. I mean, is this like a SocialFi experiment again?
Yeah, I don't know. This guy, Sam Lessin, I don't know. He's the founder of, I think he's one of the founders of Venmo.
Oh, yeah. It's about time they got their fucking teeth into Web3, huh?
Yeah. He put out this stupid statement, though. Let me see. What's Jelly trading at? Jelly's trading at 38 million, and it went all the way up to 250 million market cap.
Yeah, that's right. And then they got beat down pretty badly in the meltdown over the weekend.
Well, it was getting beat down already, but so he's talking about, he says, look at this is the statement that he put. I'll read some of it. When we did it, put it out, we tried to do what we know generally is a fair launch. I seeded it buying less than 2% of the network, which I have no plans to sell. And then we let whomever wanted to buy it, no reserves for the company or founders. That's so stupid. Like, fair launches are stupid. Anyway, this is how it's supposed to be fair. The right high trust way to do things, because you aren't pumping something up where you then later dump the supply on everyone you bought and everyone has a fair shot to buy it. Now, what happened is still amazing to me, completely bonkers. It went from 0 to 250 million network valuation, just a matter of a few hours. and since then has been selling off. What do I think happened? Some folks that follow these things closely got in, whatever. Then at some point, folks decided traders, they take profit and started selling. What sticks in my head about this structurally is just that if the person team launches something doesn't have a treasury, then the people that end up being the treasury are the traders who buy first very, very cheaply. So in a sense, with a fair launch, you end up trading potentially having the people who start the project as the whales for the first traders in as the whales, or the first traders in as the whales, which in some ways might be even more challenging as a setup. Yeah, it's so stupid. I never, the fair launches, right? Because again, what he's saying is like the investors became the whales, and that's just not the way that you do it. That makes no sense at all. What they should have did is they should have, first off, to put all of your tokens into circulation is not a good move in my opinion. You want to get like,
well, it's funny. We've seen this evolve. Like again, you and I. This is our multi-cycle, right? Like all these, you could say that they're grifts, but I think what in reality happens is you're never going to please anyone, right? And at the end of the day, you're the one who's putting the blood, sweat, and tears into it. So you've got to make the best launch mechanics you can, but not everyone's going to be happy. No matter what you do, you could be airdropping. Look at Venice, bro. Airdrop half of their supply on a platform that stealth launched the token. It was privacy first AI. They built everything from what I can see pretty holistically designed to do it right. And they have people complaining every day because, the token got sold. And it's like, dude, you can do everything right. And there's still a subset of people that'll just call you a scammer and whatever. The thing is, these guys, like that dude, has a reputation. And for him to post something like that just makes me think like, dude, just take your head out of your ass. You have a lot of people who watch you. You're in finance. You want to launch a token. Of course, there's shitloads of people that are going to snipe your launch because you have clout. People want to sell your clout. That's what you've tokenized now. You should have stealth launched it behind the scenes and never put your name to it. And that's that,
Yeah. Who's this? Eric Voorhees, right? He launched...
Venice. I got a nice airdrop. I didn't expect it. Been using the platform for a year, expecting nothing, but enjoying the app.
Oh, you've been using it. How much is your airdrop? $5,000?
Well, if I'd sold it at the top, which I was sleeping, it might have been like, 10 grand or something. It was like 300 tokens. And I sold a little bit, did something for the family and saved some because I believe in the platform. But, it's one of those things, man. Again, I think as a founder, you gotta hold.
What do you mean something for the family?
Oh, like I bought tickets. We got to go on a family trip to see some of the in-laws. So I just used some and bought some flights.
That's good. What a stud. That's what I do too. You make some money.
Yeah, you got to touch grass, bro. You got to touch grass and have some fun. Going
on the trip.
Nice, man. That's good. Oh, you going back to Disney World?
No, I'm just saying. Anytime you do that, you're like, yeah, let's go on a little, let's go on a little siesta. I'm actually taking my family to ETH Denver.
Oh, nice. Well, hey, I've got a buddy in this call right now named Action who's awesome. You've probably met him or seen him. You guys need to tee up. Maybe I should bring him up here. Let's see. Let's invite you to co-host. Actually, I didn't expect our space to go so well. I didn't even realize it's already an hour. Look at this.
35 minutes.
Oh, yeah, 30. Yeah, actually, that's how much fun I'm having. See? ETH Denver, that's cool, man. Dude, one thing I'm gonna send you something in DM. I want you to look at too. Have you seen this this NFC card called Burner?
Yeah, I seen that.
Dude, how cool would that be if you found a way to integrate that into Send? I reckon just onboarding people with a tap on their phone.
Yeah, I've seen that. I don't know, man. Deposit on ramp and off ramp are tricky ones.
Yeah.
They're tricky.
I don't know. They've used a special token to do it. I think it's USD Plus or something.
Is that what it is?
Somehow they've got the fees baked in, so it's like a smart contract governed version of USD. So you don't need gas. Like they've somehow abstracted away. It's not the same as Paymaster. It's some other. Yeah, but it might be, but it's like it's pretty cool though. I think trying to onboard people into Web3 is just like our mission. Everyone in this call should be trying to onboard people into Web3 and crypto and get away from that stigma that it's all a scam, because still lots of people think it's a scam. Let's be honest. When you show someone how you can use it in real life, like if I wanted to meet up with you in real life, Ethan, you know how I would be paying for our drinks?
You would use probably like a card that is connected to crypto.
Fuck yeah, I'd be using a Wirex card, tap and go, and on the spot, I'd have USDC. It's exactly what I'd be doing.
Why Wirex?
Well, in New Zealand, we have some limited choices. Like Revolut's here. I haven't onboarded the crypto side of that app yet because my teenage daughter's been using my card, and I don't want to activate that in her app because then she'll know I'm like into crypto more than she does. But Wirex is quite good, man. They've survived the ups and downs of the last few years. They've always been pretty good here, and yeah, it seems to work well. It doesn't have fiat off ramp. That's the one downfall, but the rates, fees, and everything seem pretty reasonable. So I think it's good. But yeah, in the States, you guys have a lot. You're spoiled for choice a little bit in the States, man. Have you got a fold card or something like that?
Pay with a virtual or a physical card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Earn up
8% cash back, so you can earn cash back.
Yeah, that's another reason I have it. Although, I don't always spend heaps on there, but it's the way I use. Yeah.
That's the thing I want to get off, man, is these cards, man. We're still on these fucking Visa. We're still on this MasterCard. It's like...
Well, here's another thing I tested the other day. I won't name the site because I'm still trying to test them out. But there's another version of this on-chain, on and off ramp. The integrations they have are pretty good. But here's the thing: they don't give you a physical card, right? You add the card into Google Wallet or Apple Pay, and you do the NFC tap and go off your phone or your watch. And there's no physical card. Although to me, I don't like that because I don't like Google. I have a Samsung phone, and I don't like Google. But for me to have a way to use that without a card and rely on a physical card had some perks to it, and it seems to work pretty good.
How long have you been using Wirex, did you say?
4 years now. 3-4 years. Dude, I bought a hot tub last cycle. That was my win for the family. I had to do it in 2 transactions because they limited the transaction amount to like something, I don't know what it was at the time. So I'm like, can you pay half twice with this? And I just tapped the card twice and it worked.
look at how simple their app though is. You know what I mean? It's just like...
Dude, can I send you my referral code?
No, I'm not going to sign up, bro. I got my own bank.
Come on, practice what you preach, brother. This is send referrals time. I'll send it to you and send.
Help Hub. Let me see this.
Hey, can you explain a little more? And then, I might riff with you about just one thing I wanted to share about Mask. What is your user experience framed around for the notes, send notes? Like, what would you like the user to experience with it? I'm interested.
The notes? Oh, I don't know. That's kind of an experience. The reason why we did that is because people want to, they want to be able to just mark their transactions. I sent,
I got you.
Let's say I bought some OTC send off you. I sent you, 100 USDC, 100 OTC send by. Why did I send them 100? Why did I do that?
Oh, okay. So you could label transactions with a note or label.
Yeah, mostly like a label transaction, right? Label it. But
cool.
We're also going to have a community feed where you're going to be able to see everybody's notes. And we're kind of, going off of what Venmo did here, where they, they had that feed. Where you could see people's transactions. I remember they stopped doing that because of privacy, even though you could disable that, but not a lot of people were. So you could still see what they're doing. But I remember going through the feed a few times and I would see like, oh, this person's buying drugs, or you know what I mean? Because they would put like a leaf or they'd put like, some pills. And I'd be like, man, I know these people. They're buying drugs.
Yeah, you're like, that's my neighbor. What are you up to, bro? You never hooked me up.
Yeah. Bro, he's a druggie. Damn, this dude's addicted.
You're like, I knew there was so many Escalades outside my neighbor's house for a reason, That's so funny. Yeah, no, we're doing some cool stuff in the background too, and just for those still listening, like waiting for the alpha. I also have a big thing we're going to announce soon too. We officially got our foundation formed for Mask, and
Did you
it's
do that?
going to be it's all approved, and we're going to
Where'd you
be.
do it?
We did it in the Cook Islands because they have a very privacy based setup.
You
In
did.
terms of like.
Bill got that done for you?
Yeah, man, it's all good now, and that means that that moving forward, like we'll be operating, as a foundation, which is a steward for the technology, a steward for the protocol. Like it'll be able to eventually govern everything, and it means that beyond any people, like the foundation will live on and keep developing everything for everyone and the users. So it's pretty exciting, like finally getting that done. It took a long time. It took over a year, like maybe 18 months almost. So you guys have got that set up,
It's a long time. Yeah, same for here, bro. It took forever, bro. Forever. It's like, damn.
I know, maybe. But I think,
and then I'm telling him, hey, with the way that the U.S. is, they're coming up with new regulations and they're a little bit more friendly, and we have the LLC in Wyoming here. But I'm like, why don't we just move everything to the U.S.? He's like, well, you don't want to do that because you're paying employees, and you don't pay the employees out of the LLC. You pay your employees out of the foundation,
right.
which and out of the multi-state, which obviously that makes sense, because there's less taxes.
Yeah, and a foundation can operate as a nonprofit. Essentially, like the purpose isn't to be for profit. I mean, you can make profit, and that's fine. But in a sense, like, you don't have like a board where the shareholders who are, all getting a cut and dividends and all that. Like, that's why the foundation is like a neutral way to do it. And I think for technology like ours, like it makes sense, like you got to align that sort of aspect of it, for community too, to see. And that's pretty cool, man. I'm excited about that. That changes a lot of the, in a good way, a lot of the things we're trying to achieve as well for, getting, like certain licensing done, trademarking, eventually dealing with, if we need to, deal with fiat later. That's a big deal. Although we don't want to, but, most companies we'll put it this way, until the things we're talking about happen mainstream, where you can actually pay for services with lots of normal Web 2 sort of companies with reliable bridges, there's always some kind of bills that you need to pay with fiat or someone who will accept a form of fiat from stablecoins off-ramped. So, bit of maturity needed for that area of the world, but we'll get there, right? That's what you're building, man. Gigs. Let's do gigs.
Gigs. I know. I want to start on that. Too. Actually, I might have freaking Vic start on that after he's done with Temporal here. I think that would be a good one.
Yeah, I had one more question. Shout out to your boy Eric. You guys did the hackathon, and Colby seemed to have done pretty good, man. I'm interested in like testing out that whole AI dev app he built. Is that active and sent? You guys rolling with that?
He's doing some stuff in the coin. He said he's going to get more on it in the next week once he gets back, because he's in San Fran. But the dude Luke from Moonwell took first. And I guess Eric with Colby took second up there at the Coinbase AI hackathon. So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
But yeah, she's been doing some PRs. We added her. She's an app in our GitHub.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just kind of watching it from the sidelines to kind of see. I guess you can install Colby as a developer.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. I hit him up. I know he's busy, but I hit him up in DM and said, hey, I'm interested in this. Like, what do I do to get whitelisted? And see if we can try it out.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know what she does. I mean, she codes 24/7. It's not like she's coding for me. She can't code for you.
Well, hey, who knows, right? If she's 24/7, you're right. There's some capacity there. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, man. It seems like it's going to be Firecracker February, for a lot of the stuff. We've got our extension about to. We'll hopefully clear the Chrome listing review. It's right there, getting ready, and then we've got hopefully the exit country feature where you can turn on, it's actually in testing now, final testing now, where you can turn on the country you want. So if I'm browsing here from New Zealand, I'm like, I want to get onto, I don't know, for some reason, Send app, I need to access it from a US place. I'll just tap a country flag and boom, I'm browsing in America. So that's coming.
How soon? What's the last step you're waiting for?
We've got this one development piece where just on the commands. So like under the hood, like what you see is this nice little app, kind of like Send, right? All the magic's under the hood. But with the Mask app, extension or browser, when you want to click a country, it's got to tell, your node, hey, only use only use other nodes that you're aware of that country, so you can get that content. And so that little piece is just getting some attention and making sure it works. Because if you pick America, you don't want it to give you content from a node in Germany. So it's just getting those country codes and all that logic stuff built up. But it's all working and testing in the first phase. So we're finishing that. Might be only a couple weeks away, which is pretty good. Aiming for this month.
Sick.
Yeah, man. How far away is your Send swap coming along, man?
That's like done. We just got to hook up the back end, I guess. I don't know, maybe a week. I don't know. You never, when you say week, it's like 3 weeks.
That's why we try not to give dates, because like development, man, you think everything's smooth sailing and then something happens and then the devs have to like pull all nighter to figure out something, and it's tough, man. I don't envy the devs.
Huh?
I don't envy the devs sometimes, man. I'm kind of hard on them at the moment, but yeah, they know I mean well. Yeah.
All right,
what would you say?
else?
I was going to ask what would you say comes next if you we're looking at all the things you got to be released? Do you know what the first one might be?
What do you mean? What comes next after all that stuff?
Well, you've got a whole bunch of stuff you said is slated for Feb to be added into the app. Do you know which one might hit first?
Probably temporal. Temporal or buy with a debit card. Probably those this week. Yeah.
Who are you using for your on-ramp or debit card partner?
We're using Coinbase on-chain kit.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah, it sucks though, bro. The UI is trash. It's not a good experience.
Well, if you could abstract it away and build it into your own UI, right? They have an SDK, right? Is that what you're working on?
Yeah, they do, but there's a frame that pops up. It's weird. I don't know.
Oh, man. Actually, I've had challenges with that in the past where, integration partners will say, yeah, look, we'd love for you to use us, or we're keen, and then, you might even be paying them or whatever. And they say, yeah, we've got an SD kit, we got an SD kit, and we've got this, UI skin thing that you can modify, and you look at it and it's so horrible, it doesn't match your branding, and you're like, I don't even know if I can use this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's horrible. Sometimes it's no flexibility. It's you can't offer a service that can't fit into someone's app, that looks like shit. It's actually turned us off some partners in the past, actually, quite a few.
Yeah.
But that's devs building for devs. Sometimes they don't have a product lead or a UI designer who understands that things need to look nice. That's probably why it's taken us longer to build what we have, because we focused on what looks nice, and it takes longer to polish. But when someone tries it for the first time, you want them to stick around. User stickiness.
Coinbase is taking that money and they're buying the U.S. Treasury bonds, right? They take They take your USD and they give you USDC, right?
Right.
So, that's a win for them. Why, and then they have to sell their branding. I don't want to sell your branding.
Well, yeah, exactly. They're already, because they're partnered with Circle. They're already getting the revenue share, whatever it is. They probably get kickbacks because, Circle and Coinbase are not the same company, but they've basically said, we're going to be doing the heavy lifting for your USDC adoption. They offer Tether, but, it's not promoted at all.
No, it's not.
It's not. But, I mean, the whole treasury thing is interesting. Doing that was inevitable, right?
The what?
Like adopting USDT on chain essentially for yield.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just inevitable in the way of DeFi bridging to TradeFi, TardFi, as we say it here. Well, we'll see, man.
All right,
So
man.
yeah, it's been a good call, man. But one more thing, are you prepping for your Canadian whiskey to cost more, bro? Have you been stocking up?
No, that's funny.
Your maple syrup? You got maple syrup on your pancakes, bro. You better buy some.
Maple syrup.
Yeah, bro. You gotta make sure you stock up before the price goes up, man. Don't let me talk about eggs yet.
Yeah, apparently eggs are more expensive. I don't even look at prices. You have to pay for it.
Yeah. It's not like you're gonna starve yourself because something goes up $1. It sucks. Like inflation sucks, but I think that's why, doing things to earn on the side, like everyone here should have a side hustle. If it's not in crypto, man, like teach yourself something on YouTube and become a programmer. It's so easy now. Sell something.
You see, they have this. They have this. These kids working on the Doge.
Oh, they're hiring. Yeah. They're getting all sorts of people to join the company or the agency, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. You're going to see a lot more. I guess what generation are we on? What are the 20-year-olds now? Gen Z? What are they?
Yeah. What I think it's Gen Z.
Yeah, so they're getting Gen Z, tapping them into all the stuff like opening up the press the press what do you call it? To YouTubers and stuff. Because obviously, Trump is anti-media, which, we won't go into that. But I've noticed they did that here in New Zealand. They've actually said you can register to be part of the press now, and you don't have to be an affiliated member of a traditional media company. And they're saying, you can apply, and if you're a YouTuber and this and that, they'll review you, and you can go in and talk to the prime minister and stuff and ask questions. It's interesting. The social's taken over, right? Society's getting a voice.
Yeah, it's taking over. Welcome.
But that's it. That's what this is too, man. Self-banking, social banking, peer-to-peer. That's neobanks, man. That's it.
Neobanks. Hey!
Neobanks. Nice, man. Well, hey, it was good covering everything, man. Sounds like a big month for Send. We'll keep our streak going with Base Station. Anything you want to add before we sign off, Ethan, about what the listeners should do?
No, that's
Obviously,
it.
upgrade to 10.
Good. Just keep sending it. Keep getting those referrals. I want to see people get out like short form video content for getting, for getting downlines, for getting people to register send pads. We're going to be doing that a lot for the month of February.
Nice, man. Yep. Sounds good. And shout out to everyone. Thank you for listening. Thanks again for your time, Ethan. I know it's like a busy time of day there, but you've done well. And yeah. What's that?
I said all good. Thank you, brother. It was good.
Yeah. All good, man. And keep an eye out for Mask. Try it. Please download it. Give us some feedback as well. Gear up for, the extension, which is going to be a game changer that we know that's probably where we'll get the most users from anywhere using our tech and making us grow. So thanks for everybody. Keep sending. We're going to send it and mask up. Let's do it.
All right, guys, send it later.
Thanks, guys. See ya.